Throughout our high school careers, we have struggled through some tough classes. Between chemistry, junior college prep, college algebra, there have been a lot of late nights spent studying. A common thing to hear in these classrooms is, when am I ever going to use this? And most of the time, the students aren't that far off the truth. While they may never have to balance a chemical equation or use the quadratic formula, there's one thing all of these classes had in common. Due to their difficulty, all these classes taught us perseverance. They taught us that we could still succeed even when times were looking grim. Even though we may not recognize it now, this skill will be extremely useful later in our lives. We can't thank our teachers enough for going above and beyond to teach us the skill of perseverance. With a strong sense of perseverance, the only outcome my fellow classmates will end up with is success. Thank you.
First, I would like to thank my parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and friends for all the great memories. You guys have supported me along the path I want to follow and have always been proud of my accomplishments even when they didn't seem big to me. I also want to thank my teachers, especially Mrs. Sprague and GH. You guys have been there through it all to help me with school, even if it wasn't your class I needed help with. An unknown person once said, "Growing old is mandatory, growing up is optional." If that statement doesn't depict most of my class, then it definitely depicts me. As we move on to the next stage of our lives, change is going to take hold and we are going to go our separate ways. We will go to separate career paths, to different colleges, we will lead separate lives. But something I think everyone should hold on to is the kid inside every single one of us. Kids look at the world through eyes of wonder and adventure and are always trying to seek new ways to try new things. They have goals set in their heads that to us may seem crazy. To them, it's possible. As we move on, don't forget that kid voice that says, "I bet if I tie plastic bags to my limbs and jump from my bunk bed, I will glide to the ground." Even though that experiment didn't quite was planned for me, that way of thinking is going to lead us to success, even when some might not think it's possible. Thank you.
As John C. Maxwell once said, "Without failure, there's no achievement." Life is full of trial and error and plenty of obstacles that might feel like they set you back, but instead you're moving forward. No matter how many times the world may knock you down, as long as you get back on your feet, you've never truly lost the battle. Find new solutions, explore new options, and think outside the box with your end goal in mind. Persistence, despite the odds, makes you a much stronger person in the long run and will lead to a much brighter road ahead.
Hard work is a phrase you hear a lot. You hear all the time from people, teachers, and coaches. It takes hard work. This is true. Without it, you will fail, and with it, you will prosper. To have hard work is greater than any skill because it cannot be taught. A good work ethic is never looked down upon and is praised. Many of us fought through high school and grabbed every percentage point possible. Others simply did not care. The world does not care. It will break the lazy people and will be broke by the hard workers. So class of 2018, do you have what it takes to change the world?
Now as we reach the end of our high school years, we have the chance to look back and reflect on our time here at Scio High School. We leave here not only as alumni of the school, but as adults who are ready to pursue our dreams for the future. Looking back at our past selves, it is easy to see just how much we have grown. Nathan finally outgrew his baby teeth, the Capildi Kid legacy continues, and the school's meme master torch has officially been passed on. Change is something that is never easy, a lesson that I've learned firsthand. Moving to a new school was the second hardest thing for me to do. The first one being being up here giving this speech right now. But I've never seen such a large amount of love and support than I have seen from this community. With the support of others, adversity becomes so much easier to overcome. As intimidating as it may be, this transition is one that we have all been awaiting. Our friends, family, and teachers have all helped us be who we are today and will continue to be a part of us as we continue onto our separate paths. Let's give a big round of applause to them.
Time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the result of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. All of you gathered here today contain two priceless tools, a mind and a voice. There are going to be people out there who are there to help you, such as all of our teachers gathered here today. I wouldn't be standing here talking on this microphone if it wasn't for these gracious people to listen to all my stupid questions and have them spend countless minutes helping me in class. There will also be others out there who will try to define you. You are all your own person. I hope all of you graduating tonight will go off on your future careers and be the best person you could be. Don't let others define who you are. You make that choice. Thank you.
The last 4 years, I've been given a lot of advice. A lot of it good, and I would say an equal amount of bad advice. But some of the best advice I've ever gotten was given to me from my father. As I grew up, he always told me to dream big and pursue my passions. Nothing has been more impactful, especially in a time of many big decisions. Before you stands 9 individuals, each with their own goals and aspirations. And behind them, 52 others who all have their own individual dreams in life. Our passions are what drive us to success. They help us choose our path. Henry Smith hopes to one day become a wildlife biologist. Connor Gardner wants to produce movies and music, and Cassie Hyde wants to be an ag teacher. Our goals and dreams, however, don't always have to be career related. Beans, sometimes known as Nick Wanbarger, has the odd dream of you one day using the president's bathroom. Good luck with that one. And Nathan Yoder has the dream to one day replace his missing tooth. You cannot find one person in this class who is not passionate about something. You also cannot find a single person here who was not helped by someone at some point. Again, we want to say thank you to all the teachers and staff and coaches of Scioto High. You have always pushed us to be our best, be persistent, and guided us to greatness. All of the time and energy you put into getting us to this point is greatly appreciated, and the skills and knowledge you have provided us will help us succeed later in life. Thank you to all the parents for your encouragement, love, and support. Without each of you, we would not be as successful as we were. I cannot put into words how thankful I am for my family, and I'm sure that many of my classmates feel the same. We should heed the advice of those older than us and dream big. One of my favorite quotes is by Norman Vincent Peale. He states, "Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars." If you always try your hardest and give everything you have towards your passions, you'll always end up better off than you were before. Continue to dream big, class of 2018, and pursue your passions relentlessly. Thank you.
Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is yet begun. We have only today. Let us begin. The future can be scary. There are so many unknowns. It can also be a place of excitement. There are so many possibilities waiting ahead for you in life. As you sit here at the end of this chapter, I want you to remember this. Enjoy your life. No one makes it out alive. We are only here for a short time, and I believe that life is too short to be miserable. Now this, of course, is easier said than done. However, even when life gets rough, we can learn to accept what is happening and find joy in those rough times. I open this speech with a quote by Mother Teresa. I believe that we need to live each day, one day at a time. Often we spend too much time somewhere else. My football coach used to say, "Be here now." When we were in practice, be focused on practice. When we were in class, be focused on class. We can only control what is happening in the moment. Too many people live in the future. I want to be this. I can't wait to do that. The problem with this is that many times what we plan and hope for in the future will often change. And we have to be okay with that. Many people fail to prepare now for what they hope for in the future. When you have hopes and dreams, make sure you are preparing to make those come true. And plan on those dreams changing. They almost always will. The past can be another trap. Many will not want to leave the high school and will spend their lives reliving what happened here. Again, if you want to be happy and enjoy life, then leave the past where it is. You can learn a lot from it, but don't spend your days pining for it. I have enjoyed my seasons of life. Tonight, one of those seasons ends. As my son graduates, the time of my boys being in school ends. Football seasons, wrestling tournaments, and Cold Spring baseball games are over. I have thoroughly enjoyed these last few years, watching them play and grow. But I don't move on to this next chapter in my life with sadness, but with excitement. There will be new adventures in life, and I know that I will fully enjoy every moment. This is a special group of seniors. I know that it's said of many classes, but to me this group is special. I have a son graduating. I have had some of these kids work for me. I have coached many of these kids over the years. And I've had the opportunity to know many of these kids on a personal level. As a teacher, it's usually frowned upon to have students show up at your house. As a parent, it happens all the time. The relationships formed with many of these graduates is so much different as a parent, and it makes my job so much more enjoyable. Unfortunately, I teach way in the back of the school where most have yet to travel. And many of these young men and women sitting here couldn't quite make it out the back door of the school to see the possibilities that lie in hard work, sweat, and sawdust. For those that I have not met, I wish the best for you also. I want to thank the senior class for asking me to speak. I wanted to keep this short and to the point, and my point is, enjoy this time. Most of you will look back on high school and graduation with fond memories. Just remember that time will end and your next chapter will begin. Make sure you enjoy your next chapter. To close, a final quote. Whenever you feel powerless, remember, a single one of your turds can shut down an entire water park. Big Shug out.